about when you watch this?
What am I thinking about? It's this guy. Hey, guy.
Hey.
It's interesting.
Interesting? Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
What's going through your mind and your heart?
Wow, this is like a live interview, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
How long have you been an interviewer?
Look, I help people make a connection. I help people discover the truth.
Are you, do you do any like TV shows and stuff like that?
No, YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
YouTube, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So
Well, it's interesting to kind of get some sort of
to see it, right?
Well,
Because
there's a lot more exposure to different subjects now, so
Yeah.
kind of people are a lot more aware of things.
it's empowering, isn't it? Because once upon a time, all this
All of
information.
your questions
Yeah.
end with a isn't it? So it's like a loaded question.
All right, I'll change
Very
my
good,
line of
very
questioning
good.
for you. How do you
Trying
feel?
to get some good responses out of me.
I'm trying
He's
to.
listening.
I'm trying to make you come to a bit of a connection here with what you're seeing and start
But how do
thinking
you know I
about it.
want to be interviewed?
I don't. I'm just chatting to you. If you didn't want to speak to me, you would have already walked away. Yeah?
Well, I didn't know. You see, I could have.
Oh well, here
been
it is.
oblivious.
You can walk away at any point, mate.
Good now. I could now.
Yeah. But honestly,
I've
do
seen
you?
some of the stuff. Well, I saw like the Paul McCartney one, which was quite interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he did one, didn't
He did do one.
he? Was that the Glass House or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's kind of like something.
Yeah. Does it make you
It's
think
kind of-
about the animals that you eat?
Does it make you think about the animals?
Of course,
Why
absolutely.
don't you tell me what you think? I'll interview you. Let's try it out where you're at.
All right, I like this. Let's do
Okay.
this. What's your question for me?
So, what do you think when you look at something like this?
I think that I am appalled at what we do to animals, to innocent beings, when we don't need to do this.
Right.
I think there is an abundance of other foods that we can eat, and that there's no need to put these beautiful, innocent, intelligent, sentient beings through torture. We mutilate them, and ultimately we chop their heads off. I don't think it's compassionate. I don't think it's kind. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's healthy for our bodies or the environment.
Sure. Okay.
And so I know how I can stop this, and that's by not paying for these products. So I'm not going to give this industry my money. I'm not going to support this abuse.
So you don't eat meat?
I don't eat
Don't
meat.
work in one of these factories or
I
something?
don't eat any dairy products. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat anything that comes from an animal. I also don't wear anything that comes from an animal. I don't purchase anything that's been tested on an animal. So I try to cause the least amount of suffering possible by not
okay.
paying for the exploitation of animals.
Do you find it difficult to follow with every single like item of clothing, things like that?
Not really. The food is
Do you ever
very...
get tempted?
I don't. You know
See a
why?
burger? Do you ever walk past?
Well, I still eat burgers. They're just made of plants. Not vegetarian, vegan. I eat burgers that if I gave you a sample now, you'd probably find it hard to tell the difference. There's something that's coming out in the UK very soon, actually. I think it's just arrived in London, in England. It's called Beyond Meat Burger.
Okay.
The texture and the taste is amazing. It's like a beef burger. I haven't eaten meat for 10 years, and I was in the States recently, had this a few times, and I'm like, wow, it took me straight back. They do sausages.
Brought back all the good memories.
Well, you know, we don't stop eating animals because of taste. We stop eating animals because it's unethical, it's wrong, it's unjust, there's no need for it, it's cruel. So we can all enjoy the same products that we've always enjoyed. Burgers, sausages, hot dogs, pizza, burritos, everything.
Right.
They're just made from plants. Your question was, is it difficult? It's not, because I'm focusing on the ethics. And so that's very easy. There's a victim involved, so therefore I don't want to cause that individual suffering. I can make an easy other choice. Clothing, there's plenty of plant materials, you know.
Have you noticed a shift? Have you noticed more change? Like people becoming more aware?
Absolutely.
Your eyes are like,
Absolutely.
are actually people shifting more?
Yes,
In your
yes.
eyes, yeah.
It's the growth is exponential. Businesses are recognizing that there is a vegan demand. Just the other day, for example, we were at an activist event, and then in the evening we needed some dinner. I don't know where we were, but it was not a vegan-friendly town. We were driving back, and we stopped somewhere. It was a Pan-Asian restaurant, and we thought, I don't know, maybe they've got some veggie dishes. We went in. They had my goodness, probably 10 items on the menu marked with V. They were vegan. We didn't even have to veganize a vegetarian option. They were marked vegan, and this was a non-vegan establishment. So, and that is because it's all-inclusive. They're actually making more money by making vegan options. So they could serve 5 people a full vegan meal at a non-vegan establishment. You know, there's a demand for it, so it definitely is growing.
How did the group come together?
This group here?
Yeah, is this like the core group? Do they have like, they all seem quite young. Like.
Well, that's because a lot of millennials are catching on to this quicker. Okay. It's less conditioning the younger we are, right? Because look, we're all raised the same.
Right. So by the time you get to like 15, then you've kind of seen various different points of view already.
Yes, what I mean is that the older we are, the longer we've been indoctrinated into this system that tells us it's normal, natural and necessary to eat animals. The younger we are, the less conditioning there is. So speaking to a 15-year-old is very different to speaking to a 45-year-old, trust me, right? So they're getting onto this a lot sooner. They have less excuses, less resistance. And
so you find there's a big difference.
Oh yeah, much more easily making that connection and choosing the compassionate choice.
And they're motivated to kind of get involved.
Absolutely, because you know what we always say is that going vegan is not the most we can do; it's the least we can do. Which means the next step is to get active and help educate other people. You know, a lot of people think, look, going vegan is so hard. It's like the ultimate sacrifice. Well, it's not a sacrifice at all. It's pure joy, not contributing to this and being kinder to animals. And also, it's the very baseline in terms of not paying someone else to slit a baby's throat is the least we should be doing as human beings. You know, it's just, it makes common sense to me. Why would we be doing this if we don't need to?
And so what inspired the style of this?
Well, it's a more artistic piece where, you know, people are obviously drawn to it visually.
Okay, so there's the visual aspect, which just catch any
Absolutely. The people remain anonymous behind the masks.
Right.
And therefore, people who are viewing the screens are not feeling judged. They're not focusing on the person holding the screens.
Right, okay.
They're just focusing on the truth that they're witnessing possibly for the first time. And that allows for other people, such as myself, to do outreach and have these conversations.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So you're the kind of the media side of it.
We all take turns. We all take turns doing this. Okay. Yeah.
And do you have any, like, I noticed it's always this type of style. Did you ever think like switching it up, doing some other type of style, doing like a white day or something?
This particular group, this is how they do it, but there are many different other forms of activism.
What's the other?
We have the Safe movement, where we go to slaughterhouses and we witness animals being driven in trucks into the slaughterhouse. We did that yesterday. And we take footage of the animals as they're being driven to their murder. We witness that and then we post that footage up on social media so other people can see that. Many different other forms of activism. So they're chicken feet, by the way.
Right.
So I like your questions.
Okay.
And I think
I'm
maybe.
Glad you liked.
Yeah, you've done really well.
Well, thank you very much.
Have you learned?
Not patronising at all.
No, you have done well. Have you learned something from my answers?
Thanks. Do I get an A?
You do.
Okay. Wow.
Have you learned something from my answers? Has that helped you?
Sure. Yeah. It's been interesting. It's been good talking with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done a little bit.
All right. So now my question for you, sir.
Yeah.
Would you consider not eating animals?
Well, you never asked me. The first question was whether I eat animals or not. So how do you know?
Assuming you do, because otherwise you wouldn't have asked me the questions you did.
Assumptions.
Do you still eat animals?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You don't eat animals? Are you vegan?
I'm not a vegan, no.
So you don't eat any meat? It's okay to say yes. I mean, the majority of people do.
Yes.
So, be honest with me.
How long have you been a vegan?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
And what was the first step which made you turn to veganism?
Well, first of all, I went vegetarian. I was about 30 years old, went vegetarian, and the reason was because I didn't want to kill animals.
Okay.
Right? What I didn't know was the truth about the dairy and egg industry, and that's what we're looking at the moment. Because the dairy and egg industry are just as violent. In fact, they're even worse than the meat industry. I didn't know that chickens and cows are still killed for their secretions for eggs and dairy. Once I learned that, I went vegan straight away. Because there's no point saying I don't want to kill animals and then eating
Well, yeah, it's kind of
eggs and
nothing
dairy.
new. It's kind of a subject that's been around for a long time in this type
We've been herding animals for food for 10,000 years.
Right, okay.
But this is very new concept of actually using social media to educate the general public, because the industry hides this from us.
Right, okay,
Right?
okay.
They don't want us to see it.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Good
Yeah.
luck with it and everything.
Thank you.
Very, very interesting. Yeah.
So what's holding you back from taking the next step?
Well, I'm just thinking that you're quite intense.
Am I?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it always so intense? Like,
What do you mean I'm intense? Explain
the
that
message
to me.
is quite intense.
Really?
Like, yeah. Well,
Okay.
the presentation of the message.
Yeah, well, we're
It's
just
quite
showing the truth. So I guess what's
Well,
intense.
This is cool.
What's intense is what the industry does.
Sure,
right?
sure.
Now, would you say the same thing if we were showing dogs instead of chickens, cows, pigs, fish? Would it be intense if we were showing this happening to dogs?
So the question is, would this be intense if it was happening to dogs? It would be very intense. I love dogs very much.
Yeah, I know.
Almost as much as chickens.
I think you love them more than chickens.
I think I might love them.
Yeah, because you eat chickens, but you don't eat dogs, right? I know. So what we have to realize is that all animals have the ability to suffer.
Okay, all right.
Right? So we love dogs, we love cats,
Yeah.
they're members of our families.
What's your name?
Natasha.
Natasha. Thank you very much, Natasha Rory.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Can I leave you with a card?
You can? Yeah,
I
sure,
can?
sure.
All right. Here's some more information about the health consequences and the environmental consequences of our food choices. If you want to give it a go, we've got a 22-day challenge.
Right, okay.
Right?
I get full support. What's
Full
the
support.
involved?
It means you get
Do
a
they come to
mentor.
my house?
They don't come to your house, but you've got a mentor online to help you out with any questions. They'll give you recipes. They'll help you through 22 days, because it takes about 21 days to change a habit. So once you've got the education, you've got the full support, you give it a go, and you've got nothing to lose. It's
Right,
a win-win.
okay.
Right?
Yeah, it seems interesting.
It is. All we have to think about at the end of the day is that if these were the dogs and the cats that we love and adore so much as members of our families, we would fight like hell to stop this. And it happens in China. They have the Yulin Dog Festival, right? So this does happen to animals that we consider members of our families. But we just do it to other animals that we've been told are for food.
Yeah, well, the message is becoming more mainstream now. And
It
stuff.
sure
I'm starting
is.
to see it on like breakfast. I think I saw on Breakfast TV a couple of months ago or something.
It's definitely becoming. See, Lee loves to talk about this. Good old Piers Morgan.
Those kind of social issues, and that's good because it's kind of you're kind of changing over, shifting over to more nature.
Yeah.
But I guess now we're looking at all social issues, so everything's becoming more relevant. Everything's becoming questioned, which is good, I guess, for society.
It is. Everything needs to be addressed. This is something that we have direct control over 3 times a day. We don't have to rely on governments, on politics, on industry, anything. This is us deciding as consumers where we want to put our money. And the industry responds to consumer demand. Well, the important thing is that you've seen it, and so as a consumer you have a direct responsibility and a choice whether you want that to continue or not. And that's the great thing. All of us have that power to decide are we paying for it or not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it was very nice talking to you.
Lovely to talk to you too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.